Why you think one of the biggest things today is men are looking to actually be single and rock out the rest of their lives living that way? I'm gonna break something down to you, something that I got a chance to understand, and I'm very much enjoying this life. One of the biggest reasons why men are looking to just live alone and be by themselves, one of the biggest reasons, and the biggest reasons only in most cases, not all, is due to money. Money management. You will notice that when you're in a relationship, you're spending endless amounts of money. No matter who is at fault. If it's your fault, of course you're spending money. If it's her fault, you're bailing her out. One of the reasons why a lot of people are breaking up due to finances. And we end up seeing this happen a lot. It never seems to get old. It seems like it's like a brand new thing in relationships. Like no one has the outlook of finances or understanding how money management goes until somebody does something crazy with the money. And a lot of times when you're on your own and you're by yourself, you are accountable for just you. This is why you're not seeing men also settle down and get married, because you're seeing them being taken advantage of. Whereas though you can put all this money out, but if you do it while you're married in some states, or if you did it before you got married, some states might look at that as it can still be both parties, just depending on where you at. And a lot of times we don't really know the laws how we thought. You end up finding out when you're going through issues like this in the courts. So it's not far-fathomed to see somebody be like, oh, I just got a friend, or I just got a couple girls here and there, you know what I mean, and they're good. Especially men in their middle age, as you start getting older, you don't look for a woman to just sleep with all the time, because that's not your driving force to make you feel as though you're encouraged to do something. You're normally not moved by that anymore. Not to say that you don't want it, but when you're younger, you full of testosterone, and you're just looking to just get as many girls as you can. But when you start buying things in life and start acquiring things, and then you also seeing the things that other men are going through, when it's divorces or breakups, or you know, some of the things that men are being accused of today, you tend to have a different outlook of life. You tend to not look at your life in the same trajectory how you looked at it before. You look at it as if, do she have anything to lose? If she do, I can mess with her. But it's a downside to everything. That's why a lot of times you don't see a lot of men being able to live a prosperous life, even when they do have someone that's in the boss era of their life. They can both be bringing in good incomes, but this is the problem. When men make a good income, it makes the family stronger and better, and it's making a household run at a nice balance, so everybody feels good. But this is where the downfall happens. If the woman is making good money, which means both parties are making good money, it's going to end up becoming a clash of the titans, because she's most likely going to look for you most in cases. I'm sorry to tell you all this, but in a lot of cases, she's still looking for you to take on the mortgage. But at the end of the day, you're looking at her money as if, wait a minute, if I'm taking care of the mortgage, then why are we not going 50-50? And that's where a lot of problems lie. You want big plans to make all this money, but in order to have these big plans, you're looking to keep majority of your money, which is not a win for the man. It's a win for the female. And it's a win for her, because if you separate, now you're looking to try to separate assets. But he done went through a lot of his money on bills, trips. Let's just say she was paying for trips. You're not going on trips every week. You're going on trips at least 3 to 4 times out of the year. Sometimes once, in most cases. On a normal, you know what I mean, a normal life, you're normally going on trips at least once out the year. due to inflation and the way spending is today. So when you look at these things, talking about you want to feel safe, men are not trying to be handcuffed to this whole systemic of back in the day when my father did this, my father did this. A lot of men can't even trace anything back to what you're saying, that your father did all these things, because when we end up looking at your family, we don't even see your father. We see your father living somewhere else. A lot of times you're not even meeting your father. So when we look at everything and how everything is going on today, you're normally seeing nothing but women running around here making transaction deals as if it's something that's making them feel safe. Well, that's the game plan. It's making you think as a man, you making them feel safe, but what you're actually doing is you setting everything up for them to be able to run away with your stuff. And if you think I'm lying, look at anybody that separates, and all of a sudden when issues arise, when it comes to separation and divorce, you start looking at the woman turning their heads as if, well, I helped him build this, but their name is not attached to anything. But for some odd reason, we start looking at everything as a money and money being changed over to someone else's hand that didn't contribute to anything. But support. Look, men are not dumb no more. We're not living in that era of feeling like that fight, that support of love helped us. It does not. We can act like it does. Men know it don't. Because when we leave the household, one thing we feel good about taking care of our family, and we feel good about when we leave home, depending on the person that we're with, or we married, or we had kids with, make us feel like we want it, and we feel that we're needed. But if we feel like we're being taken advantage of, and you just running rampant, we're not going to feel like we need you in our life. So when we start feeling that way, we'd rather have you going out of our life rather than you being there when we come home. Because this is something that a lot of us don't even talk about. We don't even talk about a lot of things that we go through when it comes to the financial satire of us being manipulated into doing things. It's always a manipulation. And the whole thing is we hold our end of the stick up by still doing the things that we were doing in the beginning. But when it comes to taking care of a family, certain things we start to slack off of because we know that we can't uphold the same thing that we did in the beginning. And I'm sorry to tell you all this. We don't. This is not Instagram. This is not social media. Social media have you thinking people taking trips every week. People going to Dubai like it is nothing. These trips cost thousands of dollars. And it's sad because some of these trips are actually a month's salary. So when you look at this, you lose the sense of reality. And your reality now is men acting alone now, because we are alone. We tend to leave now and be by ourselves and take care of our kids. And we will share custody. But that's another thing. We're at a point now where as though kids are being used as pawns against us. We're being threatened that we're going to be divorced and they're going to try to take half or damn near all of our stuff. Come on. Tell me who wants to deal with that. I have not seen many rich women going into relationships and taking on all their resources of making sure a man is good, and they're still getting up doing their thing. And you think the man just gonna ride off in the sunset and be taken care of. Only women prosper off like that. But when y'all start making money, y'all think everything's supposed to still stay the same. No. It's not the thing that you're not gonna be taken care of, but at the end of the day, if you choose to work, you gonna have to put your money into the bucket too. You can't consistently keep living this life of lies. I even see guys, not guys, certain men, it's not guys, certain men of a certain perspective that seems to be in that upper echelon of resources that tend to have a lot of money. They say they have a lot of money, and they say, they don't care if their woman makes $1 million. they don't want their woman to feel like they have to work. Come on, man. Men today dealing with real life facts. We out here in the real world. We know what's going on in this real world. We also seen a lot of people being taken down too.